The internet is a treasure trove of drumming knowledge, but some of the most profound insights are hidden deep, buried in older videos that don't always show up in our feeds. That's why we're making this video, because we want to spotlight a classic, Billy Cobham's Drumming by Design instructional video from 1991. It's an incredible resource, and this video is our way of condensing its biggest takeaways into a more digestible format. We highly encourage everyone to seek out the full-length version online to experience the complete masterclass, but for now, here are the highlights. So let's start with drumsticks. Billy Cobham's core philosophy is that sticks must become an extension of your body, not the other way around.
Okay, the object of all of that was to give you an indication of what can be done in terms of stick handling, controlling the sticks, making the sticks more a part of your body than making your body a part of the sticks.
He achieves this not by sticking to one single grip, but by adapting his technique, using everything from fingertip control to traditional or matched grips. But what's the point in playing all these different ways? Well, each grip has its benefits and lends itself to certain styles better than others, but it ultimately all comes down to control and knowing how to utilize the stick in different ways to achieve specific sounds.
Everything always comes to the center of the snare drum. It always falls the same place all the time. So I have control. What I'm doing is just controlling the stick as to where it will fall and react off the head. That's my main objective.
When it comes to the bass drum, Cobham's key takeaway is to not look down on it because it's played with your feet rather than your hands. Treat it with the same attention as any other part of the drum kit.
One area for me that has always been my weakest, and I've striven over the years to try to build it up, has been the area of bass drum playing and its control. I've noticed drummers like Buddy Rich, Tony Williams, Louis Bellson, Max Roach, Art Blakey, they all have their way of playing the bass drum in such a way that they can control at very, very fast speeds. I mean, with tempos, like I'd hear Max playing like this way, Buddy Rich, the same thing. Louis Bellson with both bass drums. They had a reason to play the bass drums that way.
His key technique for gaining this advanced control is to play with his heels down. This method makes the foot play an extension of his foot, building the specific muscles needed to move beyond simple patterns and execute complex rudimental figures with his feet.
And I've also striven to keep my heels down to build the muscle in my shin area so that I could control the amount of the length of the pattern that I'm playing through the bass drum. That's a very, very difficult instrument to play. The pedal, it's such an unorthodox situation that the one thing that you want to do is to work very slowly with all of the patterns. To take each pattern as you would practice with rudiments, with your hands. The same kind of situation where you practice slowly and deliberately to control the whole pattern for a long period of time.
Cobham also touches on microphone choice, preferring dynamic supercardioid and cardioid mics for their warmth and good frequency response, advocating for close miking to minimize phasing. But ultimately, he encourages you to experiment.
Where I'm concerned, I like dynamic mics generally. I like to use pretty much supercardioid and cardioid mics. They have a warmth depending on the kind of instrument that I'm playing, the particular instrument that I'm playing, and the response is very good. The frequency response is very good and the range is very good. So that's my personal taste. I believe that you should experiment. You should look for the microphones that are working well for you as per the situation in which you play in. Because every situation acoustically will affect the microphones or your sound and the way you hear in a different way than me.
This is an often overlooked point for drummers. We spend a lot of time talking about technique and drum gear, but for recording and touring drummers, microphones are fundamental. And it's in a drummer's best interest to be familiar with the kinds of mics and miking techniques that you prefer in order to get your ideal sound. So experiment, try something new and different, all with the aim of getting a sound that suits what you want to play. When it comes to cymbals, Billy Cobham's core takeaway is to treat every single one as a multi-tonal instrument.
As in this particular cymbal, I like to be able to play the center and on the bell and at the edge, because they give me three basic tonal characteristics that I like to draw out and utilize depending on the kind of music that I'm playing.
He applies this philosophy everywhere, exploring the ride cymbal's bell, center, and edge, and even playing the underside of his crash cymbal for a softer alternate ride sound.
The objective is to draw the sound out of the cymbal for its natural tone, not to leave the stick on too long. Sometimes I like to try to do that for a specific kind of tonal effect, but normally what I just try to do is to hit the cymbal and draw the tone out. Now, when I want to, as an alternate ride cymbal, a small semi-ride, I also will play from the underside of the cymbal so that I can get a respite from the ride cymbal that's on my left, or if it's something where I don't want to play with so much aggressiveness musically, I will try to use the underside of the crash cymbal as an alternate ride to just give me a little bit of a musical space in between the tonal characteristics of my ride cymbal and the tonal characteristics of my switch cymbal.
This approach transforms the cymbal setup from a few crash and ride sounds into a complete palette of sonic colors. This is a really inspiring and insightful masterclass. We hope you can take away some of these principles and apply them to your practice. And again, if you enjoyed this, please go find the full video. It's well worth your time. Thanks.